Hello dear student, myself Paul Wankhede going to deliver a lecture on topic anti-anginal drug. So what do you mean by first anti-anginal drug? Anti-anginal drugs are those that prevent, abort or terminate the attack of angina pectoris. Now what do you mean by angina pectoris? Angina pectoris is a pain syndrome due to induction of an adverse oxygen supply and demand situation in portion of myocardium. So simply definition is there is a imbalance between the oxygen demand and supply. It is called as the angina pectoris. Through this flow diagram, we can clearly understand that in the angina pectoris there is a decrease in supply and increase in the demand. And due to that of the vasospasm means constriction of vessels, thick stenosis and thrombosis, it decreases the coronary blood flow. Coronary artery is the artery which supply blood to the heart, and due to that of the decrease in the coronary blood flow, it causes the attack of angina pectoris. And now when there is an increase in heart rate, increase in contractility, increase in afterload and increase in the preload, it increases the oxygen consumption, and due to again it precipitates the attack of the angina pectoris. Now, what are the types of angina pectoris? Two principal forms are recognized: classical angina. The classical angina, it is provoked due to the exercise, emotion, eating, and subside when the increased energy demand is withdrawn. So, if the person is having the exercise or emotional state, or due to that of the eating, it is due to that of the energy demand it is increases, and when the energy demand it is decreases, it is subsides. It is due to that of the atherosclerotic of larger coronary arteries, which is the conducting vessels. The coronary obstruction it is fixed, and this a form of acutely developing rapidly reversing left ventricular failure result, which is relieved by taking rest and reducing the myocardial workload. And drugs are useful which primarily reduce the cardiac work. Now simply what happen in this conducting vessel, this is the normal at the rest position, and this is during the exercise. The conducting vessels, it is in the normal person it is flow is increases, and this is the resistant vessels, also it is diameter it is increases. Now what is by conducting vessel are the elastic vessel, and due to that of the exercise energy demand it is increases, and hence it flow it is increases. Now what happened in that of the classical angina? In the classical angina, due to that of the atherosclerotic plaque, the conducting vessel, the flow it is not increases, and due to that it causes the angina pectoris. Now see the second type of angina, it is called as the variant, or it is called as the presmental, or it is called as the vasoplastic angina, which is the uncommon form, and it is occur attack even at the rest position or during the sleep, or it is an unpredictable attack of that of the angina pectoris, and these are due to the recurrent localized coronary vasospasm, means it is due to that of the coronary vasoconstriction, and it is due to that of the localized. Now we will see through that of the diagram we can clearly understand what happened in that of the classical in the variant angina. This is the normal, and in that of the class variant angina, due to that of the this vasospasm, and it is flow it is decreases due to that of the coronary vasospasm. Drugs are aimed to preventing and relieving the coronary vasospasm. We can use the vasodilator drug to relieve this vasoconstriction. Now third, it is the unstable angina with rapid increase in the duration and severity of attack. It is mostly due to rupture of atheromatosis plaque. This plaque it is again rupture and attracting the platelet deposition and progressive occlusion of the coronary artery. Again it causes the coronary artery occlusion. It is also associated with the coronary vasospasm. This is the flow diagram through which we clearly understand what happened in that of the types of angina pectoris. So it's simple. In the stable angina, it is effort due to that of the exercise induced emotion and heavy meal. It causes the this angina pectoris or the sudden pain. Now in case of the variant or presmental, it causes the vasoconstriction through the that of the alpha receptor mediated vasoconstriction. It is due with or without the atherosclerosis, and in that the pain is occur even at the rest position. This is occur due to that of the exercise, and variant angina it is occur even at the rest position. Now what is by unstable angina? It is the accelerated severe type due to rupture of atherosclerotic plaque attracting platelet deposition and progressive occlusion of the coronary artery, and it is due to the rupture, and again it platelet deposition is occur, and there is a occlusion of the coronary artery it is occur. Now see the classification of the anti-anginal drug. First it is the nitrate, which is a short acting. Example is the glyceryl trinitrate. It is the important or the prototype drug, also called as the nitroglycerin. Long acting isosorbate dinitrate, it is given by the sublingual route. Isosorbate mononitrate, erythritol tetranitrate, pentaerythritol tetranitrate. Beta blocker by decreasing the heart rate. It is used for which decreases the heart rate. Use are example of drug are the propranolol, metoprolol, atenolol, and the other. Calcium channel blocker, again it is a vasodilator. Example it is phenylethylamine, verapamil, benzothiazine, diltiazem, and dihydropyridine. Example nifedipine, ferrodipine, amlodipine, nitrodipine, nimidipine, lacidipine, lasanidipine, and benidipine. This calcium channel blocker drug we are already discussed in the chapter antihypertensive drug. Now potassium channel opener nicorandine, which causes the by opening the potassium channel, it causes the repolarization and it hyperpolarization, and it causes the relaxation of muscular smooth muscles. Other are the dipyridamole, again it is the coronary vasodilator, trimetazidine, ranolazine, ivabradine, oxyphenidrine. These are the anti-anginal drugs. Now this is the clinical classification. It is used to abort or terminate attack of glyceryl trinitrate. Example are the isosorbate dinitrate, and used for chronic prophylaxis are all the other drugs which are used for the chronic prophylaxis. Now this flow diagram we can clearly see that this treatment of angina pectoris, this is nitrate drug, which is the important drug, which is called as the venodilator. Means it causes the dilation of the vein, and due to that it decreases the preload. Now beta blocker drug, by decreasing the heart rate, it decreases the cardiac workload. It is also decreases, and due to that it decreases the oxygen consumption. Now calcium channel blocker drug are called as the artery, or it is called as the arteriodilator, and due to that it causes the dilation of the artery, and hence it reduces the afterward. These two words we will discuss in the below slide. Preload and the afterload, and due to that it again causes the coronary vasodilation. So first, what do you mean by preload and the afterload? Preload are the volume of blood in the ventricle at the end of diastole. Means when the deoxygenated blood is from the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, if it is more, then it increases the preload. So preload is the volume of blood received by the heart, which is from the superior and the inferior vena cava. Preload is a stage, the amount of volume being returned to the heart. And what is the afterload? When the blood is injected into that of the aorta, this resistance, it is called as the afterload. Means pressure or resistance of the heart has to be overcome to eject blood, called as the afterload. Resistance left ventricle must overcome the circular blood. Afterload is a squeeze, amount of resistance that the heart has overcome in order to eject the blood. So preload means before the loading of the heart, and afterload means before the injection of that of the blood into the aorta. So it is called as the preload and this is called as the afterload. These two terms are very much important in the angina pectoris. So in the drug we have to reduce both preload and the afterload in the treatment of the angina pectoris. Now see the important or the prototype of drug, it is called as the nitrate. All nitrate has the some action. First action, it is the decreasing the preload. Decrease the preload means you have to the blood supply to that of the heart, means deoxygenated blood supply to that of the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava you have to reduce. The most important action is exerted on the vascular smooth muscle. Nitrate dilate the vein more than the arteries. So simply understand that the nitrate are dilate more vein than that of the arteries, and hence it reduces the preload. There is a periphery pulling of the blood, and due to that it decreases the venous return. Venous return means from the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava there is a decrease in the venous return, means that is decrease in the preload of the heart, it is reduces, and due to that end diastolic size and pressure are reducing. The pressure on that of the heart it is reduces, and due to that it decreases the preload. And hence due to that it decreases the cardiac work, and if there is a cardiac work it decreases the oxygen demand, and hence due to that the it works as a angina pectoris drug. Again I am repeating this preload reduction. Nitric acid drug will dilate more vein than that of the arteries, and hence it reduces the preload, and due to that it causes the peripheral pulling of the blood. Due to that it decreases the venous return. Venous return means the blood from the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava reduces, and hence it decreases the preload on the heart, and due to that end diastolic size and pressure arteries reduces, and due to it decreases the cardiac work. Now wall tension is intraventricular pressure into the intraventricular radius, and thus reduction in ventricular radius decreases tension that must be generated in the ventricular wall. Hence there is a decrease in the oxygen consumption, and due to that there is a decrease in the cardiac output is occur. Now we will see the second point. It is important action of the nitrate. It is the afterload reduction. When the blood it is injected into that of the aorta, and it decreases the, because it nitrate had produced the arterial dilation, and due to that there is a decrease in the total peripheral resistance. Resistance which is occurred in that of the arteriole, it is decreases, and hence due to that it decreases the afterload on the heart. In there the blood pressure is also somewhat falls systolic more than that of the diastolic, and this action contribute to the reduction in the cardiac work, and if the cardiac work reduction is decreases, the oxygen demand is also decreases. Now so the third important mechanism, pharmacological action, is the redistribution of the coronary flow. In the arterial tree, nitrate preferentially relax bigger conducting coronary arteries than arterial or resistance vessels. So nitrate is relax the bigger conducting vessels. Conducting vessels, when it is an elastic vessel, due to that it causes the dilation. This pattern of action may cause favorable redistribution of blood flow in the ischemic area of angina pectoris. Means in the patient with that due of the ischemia, means blood supply to the heart, if it is not occur due to that of the redistribution, means this blood flow is redistributed, and in that of the ischemia area, means blood supply not occur in that of heart, it is also it causes the blood supply. Dilation of conducting vessel are overburdened by nitrate along with ischemia induced dilation of autoregulatory resistance. And due to that flow does not, it is increases. It is relaxant action more on coronary vessel. It is the principal action of nitrate benefiting the variant angina by counteracting coronary spasm. Now next important fourth action, it is effect on the heart and the peripheral blood flow. Nitrate has no direct effect, stimulant or depressant action on the heart. They direct the cutaneous and meningeal vessel. Because of the dilate the cutaneous which is present over the face and neck, it causes the flushing. redness of that of the skin, and due to that of the dilation of the meningeal vessel, it causes the headache. Hence, these are the two important side effects of that of the this nitroglycerin drug. It causes the flushing and it causes the headache. Splenic and renal blood flow decreases to compensate for vasodilation in the other areas. Now, effect on that of the other smooth muscle, bronchi, biliary tract and esophagus are mildly relaxed. Effect on intestine, ureter and uterus is variable and significant. Now, this is the mechanism action of that of the nitroglycerin. Nitroglycerin or nitrodilator, it is enzymatically is converted into the nitric oxide. Now this nitric oxide is this activated the cyclic JMP. GTP is converted into the cyclic JMP. In the normal process, this myosin light chain kinase is phosphorylated by using this cyclic JMP. Now this this myosin light chain kinase is convert myosin into the myosin phosphate plus actin, which causes the contraction. Now this is the normal process of that of the muscle relaxation. Now what happens? This because of this nitric oxide, it increases the cyclic GMP level. It causes the inhibition of this phosphorylation of myosin light chain kinase into the myosin light chain kinase phosphate, which gives the phosphate group. And this phosphate group is important for this myosin is converted into the myosin phosphate. So it due to that it inhibits the phosphorylation of this myosin light chain kinase, and due to that of the contraction it is not occur, and hence it causes the vascular smooth muscle relaxation it is occur. Now also this cyclic GMP also inhibited the calcium channels, and this calcium channel blocker also inhibit the calcium channel when given in the combination. Now this store this calcium, it is stored in the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is interact with the calmodulin. Again it interact with this myosin light kinase and it causes the constriction. So due to that it causes the vasodilation of that of the, this is the mechanism of that of the nitrodilator. Again I am repeat this mechanism. Nitrodilator enzymatically is converted into nitric oxide, which increases the cyclic GMP level, but this cyclic GMP level, now myosin light chain kinase is converted into the myosin light chain kinase phosphate. Now this cyclic GMP inhibit the phosphorylation of this myosin light chain kinase, so it does not causes the contraction of muscle, and hence it causes the smooth muscle relaxation. Now this cyclic JMP also inhibit this calcium channel, and calcium channel blocker also inhibit the calcium channel, and due to that again it causes does not causes the contraction, and hence it causes the smooth muscle relaxation. Now by the flow chart in diagrammatic view, now we will see the what happen. Organic nitrate are rapidly denitrate enzymatically in the smooth muscle cell release reactive free nitric oxide, which activated cytosolic guanylyl cyclase, which increase the cyclic GMP and causes dephosphorylation of myosin light chain kinase through cyclic GMP dependent protein kinase, and reduce the ability of phosphorylated myosin light chain kinase interfere with activation of the myosin, and hence it fails to interact with the actin to cause the contraction, and hence it causes the relaxation of that of the vascular smooth muscle. There is intracellular cyclic GMP may also reduce the calcium entry, contributing to the again the relaxation of that of the heart. Now see the pharmacokinetic. Organic nitrate are lipid soluble, are well absorbed from buccal mucosa, and hence it is given by the sublingual route, intestine and the skin. They are rapidly dehydrated by the glutathione reductase and mitochondrial aldehyde dehydrogenase. It has a longer T-half. It is classified into the short acting and the long acting drugs. For example, glycerol trinitrate, isosarbide nitrate are short acting from sublingual route but longer acting by other route. Now see the adverse effect. Above in the slide I am saying that due to that of the vasodilation of the cutaneous muscles, it causes the fullness of the head and it causes the headache. and some degree of tolerance develop after the continuous use. Flushing, it is due to that of the cutaneous dilation, weakness, sweating, palpitation, means awareness of heartbeat, dizziness, sleepiness, fainting. These are the side effects of that of the this drug. Now these are mitigated by the lying down. Erect posture and alcohol attenuate these symptoms. When you eat the alcohol again it causes the dilation, hence it causes the more symptoms. Methemoglobinemia, it is not significantly but clinically used doses. Rashes are rare, though relatively more common. Pentaerythritol tetranitrate. Tolerance it is developed when it is repeatedly taken this drug, it is tolerance it is developed. However, it becomes important when glyceryl trinate it is used orally, transdermally or continuous IV infusion. Now see this diagram, we can clearly say that this is the target of drug action. Again, oxygen demand and the supply. So students simply understand that in the angina pectoris there is an imbalance between the oxygen demand and the supply. Hence, you have to increase the demand and you have to decrease the demand and you have to increase the oxygen supply. Hence, heart rate, contractility, preload and afterload, it increases the oxygen demand. You have to inhibit these four factors. You have to decrease the heart rate, decrease contractility, decrease preload and decrease afterload. And beta adrenergic antagonist and some calcium channel blocker decreases the heart rate and the contractility, and hence it decreases the oxygen demand. And nitrate, such as nitroglycerin, R decreases the preload and the afterload. Also the calcium channel blocker also decreases the preload and the afterload. Now some vasodilators, especially calcium channel blocker, R decreases the coronary blood flow, and some statin and antithrombotic drug, these are the renal myocardial blood flow, and due to that it decreases the oxygen supply, and hence so simply in that these are the target of drug action of that of the angina pectoris drug. So simply nitroglycerin is the important drug. Other drug are prototype of that of the drug. Mechanism are the same. Calcium channel blocker, beta blocker, by decreasing the heart rate and decreasing the force of contraction, these drugs are used. Calcium channel blocker again decreases the preload, afterload, decreases the force of contraction. Potassium channel opener, it causes the hyperpolarization, and hence it causes the relaxation of the smooth muscle. Diaparidamole, it is the vasodilator drug. So simply student must understand that generally ask the question, define angina pectoris, what are the type of angina pectoris, or define anti-anginal drug, blue classification of the anti-anginal drug. Now prototype drug, it is the nitroglycerin. Question it is asking the pharmacological actions, adverse effect, mechanism and uses of that of the nitroglycerin or the glyceryl trinitrate. So simply you have to understand that these are the drugs which decreases the preload, decreases the afterload. Two terms are very much important. Preload, before it is the preload means just like in the diagram shows, the blood supply from the superior vena cava and inferior cava into that of the heart, and afterload after injection into that of the aorta called as the afterload. So it causes the redistribution of the coronary flow, heart and peripheral blood flow dilated, other smooth muscle. Now you see the mechanism. Students should draw this diagram for the mechanism of the nitroglycerin. If any question or query, you can ask in the comment box on the YouTube channel, and kindly subscribe my YouTube channels. Thank you.